The humanitarian crisis in Sudan has displaced 13 million people, left over 30 million people in need of assistance, with nearly 25 million experiencing acute hunger. Despite the dire circumstances, journalists in Sudan continue their work with remarkable resilience. One such journalist is Shamil El-Noor, who returned to Khartoum 2 years after fleeing the civil war.
A prominent freelance journalist known for her coverage of politics in the troubled Darfur region, Shamil El-Noor returned to Sudan's capital this year after the army regained control. When she left Sudan at the outbreak of war in 2023, Sudanese newspapers were already suffering under an economic crisis and the worldwide shift to digital news. Then the fighting pressed operations to an immediate standstill, leaving busy newsrooms in Khartoum empty and ransacked.
Since the first bullet, all print newspapers have stopped because these are institutions that are all situated in the center of Khartoum, which was a site for military operations since the first hours of the war.
Civil war between the army and paramilitary rapid support forces has crushed Sudan's economy, pushed half of the population of 50 million into hunger, and claimed tens of thousands of lives. It also decimated Sudan's media just as it was enjoying a freer period after decades of state control under autocrat Omar al-Bashir. Independent newspapers, television channels and websites had sprung up, though economic troubles meant publishers were shutting down or reducing print operations before the war. Ad revenues then dried up as the war decimated businesses.
This restaurant used to be like my office. Since 2020, I work as an independent journalist. I used to come to this place. It is a calm spot and suitable for working. A friendship developed between me and them. I remember them one by one now. I used to sit on this table at the end of the bottom floor, and they used to remember my breakfast and coffee. This is a very sad thing. I really miss it.
About 1,000 journalists lost their jobs as they scattered across Sudan and the world. Among those who remained, 31 journalists have been killed. Digital outlets have been springing up, but most are sponsored by the warring parties or other political interests, and there is a parallel disinformation war on social media. El-Noor left her home in Omdurman. She eventually went to the United Arab Emirates before coming back this year after the army's recapture of Khartoum, spurring the return of about 2 million Sudanese.
This house is where I witnessed the first bullet in 2023. I left it after a month of the war in the hope of coming back, just like all of those who left Khartoum. But the return was painful. We nearly lost our entire social life.
With fewer local reporters on the ground, warring parties watching them closely and requiring permits, and some violence by fighters towards journalists, Sudan's media is hanging by a thread. Africa Bureau, WION World is One.